Hey everybody, this is Ryan, and welcome to episode 6 of Let's Play The Binding of Isaac. And we jumped right in. This one is a really fast pace. I had to cut a lot out of this. I'm going to go ahead and cover this right now. You say I picked up that item, and you might notice that Naked Isaac looks a little more round, a little more shapish. That's because of that lard item I just picked up. What it does is it gives you 2 hearts, so like 2 more slots for a heart, but it only fills up a half of them. But kind of the really bad thing it does is it takes off like 2 speed, which is a lot of speed to take off. And, you know, it's kind of the old, well, you know, if they can't hit you, they can't hurt you kind of thing. Speed's really big in this game, so to lose 2 speed, it's kind of a big deal. But at this point, I figured, you know, I don't know how long this playthrough is going to go. I'm not in a position to pass up on items now because I don't have anything. So, yeah. I don't know. I think it works out in the end. This was a new boss that I hadn't faced before. And I get this new little friend. Oh, look at him. Isn't he adorable? And he shoots homing tears. I've never really had homing tears for a long period of time. But he shoots them. They're nice. They don't work too well in the boss fights. You'll kind of see why later. And yeah, I got the skeleton key. I get a damage up right here. And then I head into this room. And I pick up the mark, which increases my damage again. So you might notice that I skip a lot. This episode was going to skip a lot. It's going to go very, very quickly. And the reason for that is this playthrough took an hour, which was kind of blew my mind. You know, once I stopped it and I looked at the recording, I could not believe that this took a whole hour, but, well, it did. And so I cut it all the way down to 30 minutes, and so this episode is 15 minutes. The next episode is 15 minutes, give or take a little bit. I get this 1-up here. 1-up is huge. And I get an HP up right here. Yes, I think this episode definitely, I always joke around, oh, I'm lucky, no, I'm good, oh, lucky, This proves that I am definitely insanely lucky. I wanted to show this knight really quick, because look, he has Isaac's face, which I hadn't seen before. I hadn't fought that guy. And the thing with him is he is much, much smarter than the regular knights. He is very fast. He doesn't just continue in the same direction. He definitely comes after you. He is, he's kind of hard. Took me a long time to clear that room. Alright, and this guy, when he drops these bombs, the tricky part about this, it's not avoiding the bombs. You can do that easily. It's when one bomb explodes, it pushes the others across the room. So that's what you got to be worried about. It's not just where they fall. You got to look at what direction they're going to slide. But you know, once you get that taken care of, the rest is just simple. Just shoot them and run around the room, and there you go. Naked Isaac doing his thing. I got a lot of hearts, a lot of shield hearts. So this one. I definitely need them. I definitely need every single one of those hearts. That is for damn sure. Alright, so this is finally the point where it's the entire level. There are no more breaks at this point. I don't know if you guys can hear that rumbling outside or not. You probably can't. But we are actually in the middle of a really big thunderstorm at the moment, which is kind of unusual for this time of year in Kansas City. But boy, we get some big ones kind of in the spring and whatnot. And we actually had an earthquake on Saturday night. I was talking to some friends on Skype, and I hear, and they live in Kansas City here too, and I kind of hear stuff falling. And it's like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You just knocking stuff off your desk? What's your deal? And he's like, I don't know. My house is shaking. My computer's shaking. I don't know what's going on. And it's like, dude, are you wasted? What's your deal? What do you mean your house is shaking? Are you crazy? And then later we find out that, yeah, Kansas City had an earthquake. For those of you that aren't familiar with the United States, Kansas City could not be more in the middle of the country. So for us to have an earthquake, that's pretty damn insane. You know, we get big thunderstorms, we get tornadoes, and we could always say, well, at least we don't get earthquakes around here. Yeah. Well, we had one. No big deal, though. As far as I know, nobody got hurt. Some chairs got knocked over. Some stuff got knocked off of people's desks. We lived. Alright, what do I get out of this one? Oh yeah, I couldn't remember what this did, and I figured there is no way it's more important than my book. I don't know if I covered my Book of Revelations. It gives me a shield heart every time I use it, which is, you know, I already said earlier, I use every single heart at one point. At one point I get down to half a heart. And so everything I pick up, every shield heart, everything else, I use every single one of them. In the luckiest playthrough. I'd be interested if there's a luckier playthrough that has been recorded, because this one is something else. Even watching the replay of it, I was like, okay, and did the game glitch out? How did I not die here? But that'll be in the next episode. That happens in I believe the second level of the womb, which is right before I go fight the final boss. I'm down to a half a heart. Yeah, an interesting playthrough, that's for sure. It's really a good thing I got the skeleton key as well, because I use a lot of keys, and I don't come anywhere near to using all 99 that you get with the skeleton key. But man, I wouldn't have been able to use all of them if it wasn't for the skeleton key. I would have ran out. You're gonna see why homing tears are not very good for the mom fight here in a minute. Basically, what happens is you fire, and you know, her eye pops out of the door, or her hand, or whatever, and so the homing tears see that, they go after it, and then it goes back in, you know, to the wall, and all of a sudden you just wasted those shots. So that makes the mom fight a lot trickier than I would have liked. But yeah, we get the job done. Naked Isaac and his rock and his underwear and his coat hanger out of his head. This is always such a pain in the ass. This always happens to me on the second level of the depths. I have quite a bit of money saved up, at least enough money to do something with. And I come into the merchant room, and there's always this jerk. He's always in here. And so, you know, this is the last merchant room you're gonna find. You know, yeah, I could have gone back to the slot machines, and you know, I could have done some stuff, but you know, you get pretty good items out of those merchant rooms sometimes. This was embarrassing. I think I get hit like 3 times in this room. There's 2. Maybe that was it. Maybe just twice. But it's like, come on. They roll along the wall. It's not that complicated. Not that complicated of a room, Ryan. You should have done a little better than that. And then here, it takes me for absolutely ever to get up to Mom. I go through every single possible room, and when you get down this low, these levels are pretty long. And oh, it just took forever to get to this boss fight. It's very surprising I lasted as long as I did. It's frustrating when I watch it and I see that I'm not using my shield hearts, my free shield heart that my item gives me. Just slipped my mind, I suppose. I hope you guys got a chance to check out the Battlefield teaser that I posted today. I was actually just doing a sound check to make sure everything will be set up for when we do the actual recordings, and I do something pretty incredibly stupid. I get myself killed, but like I even have a little disclaimer at the beginning, because You know, the whole point of it is, hey, we're having fun with the game. We're not pretending like we're pro. We're playing the game and we're having fun. And that's what the video shows. That's what we are definitely doing. And so, yeah, there'll be more of that to come, hopefully very soon. That's a pretty fun game to play when you're playing with your friends. And kind of that game, you kind of have to play it with your friends. It's not a very solo-friendly game. It's not like Modern Warfare 3, which actually came out tonight, yesterday, however you want to look at it. So I hope the people that ran out to get that at midnight release, I hope you all enjoyed it. I used my card here, and it was the unicorn. I didn't know what it did, so I wasn't really ready to use it, so I kind of wasted it. In a minute here, I get really frustrated, and I start throwing out bombs because she won't break any of these rocks. And in any boss fight, you know, rocks can be a big problem, but especially this one, I mean, you need as much room as you can possibly get. Now, I need to kind of pay attention here because, I mean, this fight is not going very well, and I magically kill her here. I still don't quite know how it happens. But yeah, this fight did not go very well. You can see there's almost always 2, sometimes even 3 ads in the room. And it's like, come on, you gotta be better than that. You can see the homing tears just not really being very effective. So, something to keep in mind for this fight. What in the world happened? Okay, I just watched it. And she had like half health and she suddenly died. It looked like maybe she stepped on herself that was coming out of the door. If anyone can explain that to me, because you guys can. Pretty much everybody that watches these videos knows more about this game than I do. So if any of you could explain what in the world just happened, I'd appreciate it, because yeah, I thought she died way too fast. It's like, what happened? All of a sudden it's over? But yeah, so if anybody could explain why, that would be great. And we're getting kind of close to the end of the episode. Not quite there. It's about 15 minutes, and the next one's about 15 minutes. So I divided it up pretty nicely. I end this run looking at my stats, and oh, my stats are just horrendous. I cannot believe. Oh, excuse me. I cannot believe I beat the game with the stats that I had. So you guys will get a look at them. I won't have time to comment on them because it's literally the very end of the video. It's like the last thing you see. So yeah, take a look at them, but boy, that's something else. That is some major luck. Getting pretty good at avoiding these guys. Those eyeballs are definitely a pain, but these guys are nothing. They're basically just I don't even know if they're a harder version of the little white things, little white worm things that chase you. Maybe they go faster, but I don't know. Those things aren't that hard to avoid, and these things aren't that hard to avoid. Not a big deal when you are as awesome at this game as I am. Alright, so that will just about do it. We got about a minute left, it looks like. I think some more mini boss fights coming up here. I hate these baby things. Ugh, they are so annoying. I mean, it's not like they're hard. They're just that sound. Oh, I cannot stand that sound. And then they disappear, and I want to kill them as quickly as possible. And it's like, ah! And we got about 30-ish seconds left, so I'm going to go ahead and say thanks for watching. You guys know I appreciate it. And the next one, you can see just how unbelievably lucky I get. This tops everything I've done up to this point. So it's something to see. You might have to watch it a few times because I couldn't figure out how I lived through it. So maybe you guys can. But that'll be posted soon. So until next time, see you guys.